York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, let's take a close look at this picture here. This is the calm before the storm. Don't let the picture fool you. Snow is on the way, and you can see that from the radar here. We expect to see some flakes falling in just a bit, and it will pick up later into the morning and last throughout most of the day.
And this, Mike, is the second snowstorm to hit our area this week. We are checking conditions on the roads. We have the latest school closings and delays for you as well.
All right, so we'll get you covered here as we make our way through this Friday, January 19th. Great to have you up and awake with us. I'm Mike Barza.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Shirlene Ellicott. It is a major AccuWeather alert day, so let's go straight to Brittany Bell. She is tracking that winter storm headed our way. I mean, if you were traveling like when I was, I'd be fooled that it's coming.
Right?
Yeah, so don't get too comfortable. But when it comes to your morning commute, the earlier the better, because we'll see the snow picking up hour by hour. Right now, radar is showing some snow, but this isn't hitting the ground just yet. It's higher up in the atmosphere. That will change, though. Notice all of this snow off to the west. That is heading our direction. So we'll start out with the timing from now through 8 to 9 a.m. That's when we'll have more of this snow spreading in from west to east. After 10, that's when the brunt of this storm really gets going. We'll have widespread steady snow after 10 o'clock through noon, sticking around through the early afternoon hours. And late this evening, that's when snow starts to clear, stops falling from west to east. An early look at snowfall totals, no major changes, still 1 to 3 for most of us, and that 3 to 6 line pushed a bit farther to the south, mainly south of 78, including most of Middlesex, Monmouth, and Ocean County. That's where we have a winter storm warning for Ocean County. For the rest of New Jersey, a winter weather advisory. That advisory now includes the boroughs, Long Island, and lower Westchester. Temperatures at or below freezing for most of us. It's 32 in Central Park, down to 22 in Sussex. Also 29 degrees in Islip and 27 in Bridgeport. So get ready for snow spilling in throughout the morning, sticking around throughout this afternoon, with high temperatures only reaching the lower 30s. We dry out tonight, but it turns very frigid for the first half of the weekend. More details about that coming up. Heather?
And if you're just waking up and wondering, do I need to move my car today? Alternate side of the street parking rules are suspended, but those metered rules are in effect. Now, we have 78 express and local lanes east of exit 55. This is an ongoing accident investigation. I drove past the scene earlier this morning, so we do have a lot of activity still with that accident. Garden State Parkway northbound ramp to exit 143. The right lane is closed down, and this is because of this problem here. Springfield Avenue both ways between Eastern Parkway and Maple Avenue. All lanes are shut down in both directions. That is in Irvington. Then going here onto the Garden State Parkway south at the Union Tolls, we do have a vehicle fire. Alternate side of the street parking rules suspended once again, and those metered rules are in effect. Shirlene and Mike, over to you.
Heather and Brittany, thank you. It's 4:33, and so it seems like the focus of this storm, hearing from Brittany, is going to be New Jersey. So winter storm warnings have already been issued for 6 counties in central and southern New Jersey this morning. Parts of that state could get up to 6 inches of snow.
So let's go to, well, it doesn't sound like we have Phil.
Well, we know Phil has been preparing, so the people at Woodbridge.
He's out there. We're going to get to him in just a moment.
Exactly. But, you know, we do have to say that New York City may be spared from the bulk of this storm, much like we saw earlier this week.
Yeah.
Especially with the tri-state considered. Usually it's north and west. Now it seems like it's more south. The morning commute is still a major concern, though, because those freezing temperatures could make things really hazardous out there, not only for driving, but for walking as well.
Exactly. So let's check in with Janice Hugh. Janice Hugh's with us. She's outside the sanitation department, salt shed in Soho. Janice, that's going to be a very important place, making sure those slick spots are salted down.
Yes, and it's already a very important place. We've seen a lot of those trucks come through here to load up on the salt. You can see that pile here behind me. So they've been coming in, loading up, heading back out. There's about 800 of them on the roads, making sure everything is good before that snow falls. And of course, we saw it earlier this week. Once that snow falls and the temperatures drop even more, that turns to ice, and that causes treacherous situations on the road, but on the sidewalks as well. And when we were out yesterday, we saw a lot of sidewalks with a lot of ice on them. So the city sanitation department is in charge of making sure the streets are free of ice and snow, but the sidewalks are up to the property owners. There needs to be at least a 4-foot path for people to be able to safely walk, and bus stops and fire hydrants should be shoveled if they are in front of your property.
Live from New York's #1 news with Shirlene Ellicott, Mike Marza, and Danny Backstrom. This is Eyewitness. Eyewitness News mornings at 10.
Guys, do you remember when we didn't get an inch of snow for nearly 2 years in New York City?
I do.
701 days. Good times, right? Because now the second winter storm in less than a week, dropping snow across the tri-state area. This is a live look in Woodbridge, New Jersey. This is in Middlesex County. This is one of the areas that will see the heaviest snow totals throughout the day, generally south of I-78. And the snow is falling right now.
Yeah, it feels like we've been waiting for a while for the snow to start falling in that particular shot, and it's coming down.
We're getting there.
And here's a live look at Soho in Manhattan. The city sanitation department has been prepping roadways not only for snow but also ice, of course, as temperatures remain below freezing.
Welcome to Mornings at 10 here on this Friday. Of course, this is just the beginning as we detail what's going to happen throughout the day, the latest round of winter weather, all of that coming up. We have live team coverage throughout the show, but that is not all. We're also digging deeper into the city's response to the recent rash of violent crimes happening in the subway system. So the NYPD Chief of Transit, Michael Kemper, will be here in studio to talk about how police have been responding and what could be their future strategy to tackle some of the concerns.
Right now, it's New York's #1 news with David Navarro and Sandra Bookman and meteorologist Brittany Bell with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News at noon.
We are in the midst of a snow alert. The forecast calling for up to 6 inches of snow in some parts of New Jersey, and there are serious concerns of icy conditions as temperatures remain below freezing.
This is a live look over Central Park, where, as you can see, the snow has started to fall. The pace expected to pick up throughout the afternoon.
And we're also following breaking news out of Brooklyn. A baby dies after a furnace inside his home leaked scalding steam. We're live outside that home in Midwood. And good afternoon. I'm David Navarro.
I'm Sandra Bookman. We will get to that breaking news momentarily, but first we want to get to the AccuWeather alert. Another round of snow in our area, causing some dangerous and icy conditions.
There's a lot to go over. We have a team coverage checking conditions on the roads, parts of New Jersey and in the city. But we're going to begin with meteorologist Brittany Bell, who's timing it all out for us. Brittany.
Hey, David and Sandra, we are right in the brunt of this winter storm. So as it relates to the timing, it's been a bit slow going for the city and spots out to the north, but that has not been the case for portions of central and southern New Jersey, where snow totals are already approaching 1 to 2 inches. We've been battling some drier air farther out to the north. You can make out some of this drier air cutting into the snow across portions of the Catskills, but lighter snow stretching from Dutchess County all the way down towards Westchester. Even though it is lighter, we have heavy snowfall rates, so it is coming down at a decent pace for Westchester. Sliding across northwest New Jersey, some drier air across Sussex County, but lighter snow near Hackettstown and Parsippany. Also some snow finally starting to pick up across northeast New Jersey. Snow is picking up for the boroughs. Some decent snow coming down. The streets are turning wet. And it's going to be a slow mover over the next hour or so with steady lighter snow throughout the rest of the afternoon for the boroughs. Sliding across the rest of New Jersey along and south to 78. That's when snow has been the heaviest. And here's a look at some of those reports. Flemington, just an inch of snow around 11:45. Also Freehold, 1.2 inches as of 9:20. So that will likely continue to go up. Manasquan, 1.3. Also a decent amount of snow across Ocean County. That will likely be one of the spots that see the heavier amounts once all is said and done. Even moving across Long Island, Suffolk County, you had a heavier band, especially across the North Shore. So timing this out throughout the next hour or so, snow continues, steady snow, the heavier south to 78, around 4 to 5. That's when things start to taper off, mainly from north to south this time around. And then after sunset, things will dry out all across the region and it turns frigid. Looking at our snowfall map as drier air continue to work in, overall 1 to 3 with that 3 to 6, mainly south of 78 for most of Monmouth and Ocean County. And since we've had more drier air coming in, the snowfall totals will likely lean closer to the 1 to 2 inch range north of this line that's currently across the boroughs and the farther north you go. We have a winter storm warning still out for Ocean County, and for the rest of New Jersey, a winter weather advisory that also includes the boroughs, Long Island, and southern Westchester. Temperatures still below freezing. It's 30 in Central Park, down to 27 in White Plains and 25 in Poughkeepsie. With these temperatures and that snow falling down, we'll still have some travel issues, especially for your evening commute. I'll let you know what's in store for the rest of the weekend and how cold it will get coming up. David?
All right, Brittany, thanks.
Right now, it's New York's #1 news with Liz Cho and David Navarro and meteorologist Lee Goldberg with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News first at 4.
A heartbreaking tragedy in Brooklyn. A malfunctioning radiator leaks scalding steam into a room, killing a baby.
Plus, we are following some breaking news. Actor Alec Baldwin has been indicted again on charges connected to the deadly shooting on the set of his movie Rust.
But we begin this afternoon with an AccuWeather alert. After starting early this morning, the steadiest of the snow is now finally beginning to taper off in much of the area. But what is left behind depends on where you live. And good afternoon, I'm David Navarro.
And I'm Liz Cho. And central and southern Jersey are dealing with some of the worst of this weather. You can see it was really coming down in Freehold, New Jersey, where schools were closed today out of an abundance of caution. But crews have been out in force across Monmouth County all day to keep those streets clear.
A little farther south, snow coated the sand in Ocean City. The entire state of New Jersey currently under a state of emergency that will remain in effect through the weekend.
And here in New York City, big fluffy flakes fell today in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. The city isn't expecting as much snow as areas further south, but there is a travel advisory in effect right now.
Over in Staten Island, the roads looking clear, but the next big concern later tonight as temperatures plummet and the roads become slippery sheets of ice.
Yeah, people are being urged to stay home if you can. But if you have to go out, here's an important reminder from the New York State DOT. Do not crowd the plow, and you can see why. And don't try to drive around it either. That scary dash cam videos from upstate captures the moment a car nearly crashes head-on into a plow truck.
Well, who does that in this weather? You have to ask yourself. Live team coverage this afternoon, some of the hardest hit areas. But let's begin with Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg. Lee.
And there's still much more news ahead. Eyewitness News at 5 begins right now.
Right now, it's New York's #1 news with Bill Ritter and Sade Badranwala and meteorologist Lee Goldberg with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News at 5.
Real fears throughout our entire city, so it was crucial that we apprehended and brought him to justice.
New information about the man arrested for a terrifying stabbing spree across New York City. We'll show you how New Yorkers help cops track him down.
Plus, families reacting to a scathing new report that found the Uvalde school massacre in Texas could have been stopped sooner. Details on cascading failures uncovered.
An Eyewitness News exclusive on a brazen sneaker heist in Queens. The crooks using their car to break in. The question tonight, is it part of a larger crime ring? We'll have more of those stories in a moment, but we begin with the weather. Get ready for round 2. More snow is on the way.
Now, if you plan to head out tomorrow morning, you may want to get an early start to beat the steadfast snowfall. New York City already getting ready. The Department of Emergency Management issuing a travel advisory for tomorrow. And the city suspended already alternate side parking rules. That's a big sign. That's only for tomorrow, by the way. But you still have to pay for the meters.
New Jersey remains under a state of emergency put in place because of the recent flooding. Let's now take a live look at Newark, where we expect Governor Murphy to give us an update on preparations for the storm at any minute now. We will monitor the news conference and let you know what he says.
We want to go straight to meteorologist Lee Goldberg right now, timing out the storm with the very latest. Lee?
And I'm sure the governor will talk about some of the highest totals in this storm over parts of central and southern New Jersey. So here we go again. An all-day snow on Friday, followed by dangerous cold for everyone, regardless of what snow you get. Winter weather advisories were out for much of northern New Jersey, New York City, Long Island, even lower Westchester. Don't have advisories out in the far northern suburbs. Not even that far, actually. Once you get even 30 miles, 35 miles north of the city, no advisories because of lighter snow totals. And then you have warnings in Monmouth and Ocean, a better chance of seeing a band that could produce a half a foot of snow and have roads looking like this.
Right now, it's New York's #1 news with Bill Ritter and Liz Cho. Ryan Field with sports and meteorologist Lee Goldberg with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News at 6.
When it comes down to the safety of this city, I cannot compromise.
Mayor Adams vetoes what is called the How Many Stops Act. It would require NYPD officers to document all investigative stops of civilians. Tonight, critics are blasting the move. Plus, a heartbreaking story in Brooklyn. An 11-month-old boy burned to death after scalding hot steam leaked from a radiator in his bedroom. But first, the weather. The snow from the second storm this week is winding down, but now we are bracing for some dangerous cold. Lee says wind chills tomorrow morning will be in the single digits. And good evening to you. At 6 o'clock, I'm Liz Chow.
And I'm Bill Ritter. The heaviest snow in the tri-state central and southern New Jersey. And this is what it looked like in Freehold. But roads, for the most part, in pretty good shape during the day. But they could turn icy tonight. We saw big, fluffy flakes in New York City, but not much in the way of accumulations. And this is what it looked like in Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
Yeah, the biggest concern now is the extreme and dangerous cold. Look at that thick ice now encrusting the area at the Great Falls in Paterson, New Jersey. Really pretty, though. Tomorrow morning, we'll be waking up to single-digit wind chills.
We'll check in with the Jersey reporter Anthony Johnson. He's in Freehold. We'll do that in a couple of moments. But we begin with Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg with what we got and what's ahead. Lee.
It's just not enough time to dry things out to reduce iciness across the area. So, yeah, we'll get some roads that are treated, that are dry tonight to drive in, but don't trust it taking those turns or getting near the shoulder where it will be icy. But the snow making an evening exit, the accumulation winding down even in parts of Ocean County, and now our focus goes to the extreme cold, which will last into, let's say, 3/4 of the weekend through about midday Sunday, and then later in the day on Sunday a little better. Fresh coating underneath the RFK Tri-River Bridge. We're at 28 and cloudy. Visibilities have really come up unless you're over southernmost Ocean County. So another hour of accumulating snow for southern Ocean County. The final flakes will fall during the evening hours. There's a fine flake or two around the rest of the area for another hour or so. Slick roads get even icier tonight as the Arctic air pours in, and dangerous cold tomorrow. It'll feel like single digits to about 10 at best during the afternoon hours.
Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
And tonight we have 2 Eyewitness News exclusives. First, a man brutally attacked on his way to work, punched on the train. And our story about high-end sneaker store thefts. And now other businesses calling us saying they may have been robbed by the same group of thieves. Good evening on this Friday. I'm Mike Marza. Bill and Sade have the night off. We'll have both of those exclusive stories just ahead. But first, tonight we saw snow again today for the second time this week. It has since stopped falling, but now we're bracing for these bitter, dangerous cold temperatures moving in. Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg here to time out what we can expect. Lee?
Mike, it's been a week. 2 storms, and now we're on the cusp of our second bitter blast. The storm definitely took aim at central and southern New Jersey. It was whiting in Ocean County, over 5.5 inches of snow. Freehold did very well in Monmouth County.